My name's Kev. I'm the singer of Lost Souls, and today I think we're going to talk about our new album Law, which is coming out April 18th.
It is indeed, Kev. Thanks for joining us today, brother.
It's a pleasure, my dude.
So, as you say, my friend, Lost Souls release your debut album Law on April the 18th. Giving you a phenomenal and rapid rise to glory. How are you feeling about it?
Oh, dude, I'm just absolutely so stoked. We've worked really hard on this album. Uh, you know, I guess every band loves their own album, but it just feels like I really feel like we haven't got any fillers on there. So just really pumped for everybody to hear the different kind of lyrical content we're covering and hear all those fat breakdowns and killer riffs.
Yeah, essentially, bro, it's a metalcore album at its heart, but I think it's so much more than that, mate. Like when I was listening through it last night, it actually sounds like violence for most of it. And that's a new one on me. I've never thought music sounded like violence before. It's great.
Dude, that's a compliment. I think a way I talk about this a lot in interviews, like this music is more than just music. I mean, when people that are into this music put it on, they want to feel something, like whether it's driving in the car or you feel it with your whole body. I guess that's kind of what I was referring to in Mosh Lord, is that like when you see a band or hear a band, you want to feel it in your chest. You don't just want to hear it and tap away. So I guess violence is kind of the reaction that a lot of us can't do a lot of the time because
Yeah,
we're
I
we're
should.
functioning adults in society, but it doesn't mean those feelings aren't there. So it's nice to be able to get it out in a healthy way.
Oh yeah. Now today you've released the singles "Childhood Died," "The Return," "My Soldier's Rage," "Dopamine," and "My Sword." So someone who hasn't heard the album, are they a good sonic representation of what to expect, or are they only scratching the surface?
I think they're scratching the surface, to be honest. Those songs are very hooky. They got a certain sort of style where there's some tracks on the album that are maybe a little more new metal. There's a couple that are a little bit more experimental with the guitar work, and lyrically as well. I guess there's a couple of tracks on there that aren't necessarily about the humorous side of ADHD or humorous at all. There's a couple of songs that I was almost I guess reluctant to almost put out there because they're a little bit more soul bearing, but I felt like it wouldn't be right just to only show kind of like the positive feelings that come with dopamine or something like that. So yeah, it feels pretty well versed, and I think a lot of people might be surprised when they hear it start to finish.
Now the band has gone viral across all platforms, mate. You're the name on everyone's lips at the moment. So how do you measure the success of an album based on that? Like anything under 5 million hits in the first 24 hours is a failure.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. For us, it's just like having the album out is a success in itself. Like we've always just made music for ourselves, I guess. Like we write these songs, we put our everything into it, and when people hear it and resonate with it, it's fucking awesome, dude. But it's not kind of the reason we go out there and do it. So even having the album out there, I mean, there is a part of me that Childhood Died sat on YouTube for about a year with maybe 900 to 1,000 views. And not that I don't appreciate everything that's happened, but like when it was sitting there just clocking up, 1 to 10 per week, it was weird. It felt like you could put an identity to each one of those people. So you'd see it go up a little bit and you're like, oh fuck, I hope that specific person, wherever they are, enjoyed it. So there is a point where the numbers get so big you can't even like kind of
Yeah.
fathom it. It just becomes like a big number. So um for us, just having this album recorded is a success, and anything that comes after it, dude, is like that's a bonus. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Now you mentioned that Childhood Died sat on 900 to 1,000 for about 12 months. Like, what happened to actually break it to make it go from hovering around there to going fucking way up there?
Dude, I wish I knew, to be honest. So like we could just do it again and again and again. It was just one of those things where I think maybe that like the right kind of Reddit thread found it, or the right kind of somebody shared it, but it was kind of just sort of out of nowhere. It just kind of blew up, and then it just went from there. Like the algorithm just gave us some love. So that initial start was enough for us to be like, oh, quick, let's release another song. Like we release the return.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was next, and then it was like the ping pong incident, and that kind of that propelled us like massively.
Given the success all the singles have had from the album, mate, like, because there's got to be an enormous amount of pressure on you going into the album release. Like, wondering if people are going to relate to the rest of the album the way they have to the singles. Like, is there a lot of pressure?
To be honest, I thought there would be, but I'm that stoked with the tracks on the album that and being a first album, like we've had so much time to write this. A lot of time bands' first album was their best because they've had so much time, and then they try and churn out like the second album in a year while they're on tour and stuff. But no, that they're because my favorite songs on there aren't even released. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I think if people like what's already out, they're gonna shit when they hear this. I mean, even the second track coming out of that intro, like and subscribe was such like an important song for me to write. It's a massive commentary on what I think about the state of entertainment and the internet. But goddamn, even the breakdown in that song in itself is just like when people hear that, if they like our other shit, like they're gonna be stoked on this.
I'm glad you brought up the intro, bro, because Law opens with the existence conflict, which it's got a slow atmospheric build up before a disturbing monologue comes in. That's underscored by a haunting string arrangement that's eerie as fuck, mate. Like it's an
Yeah, dude.
beautiful way to start. What was the thought process behind that?
Well, it's weird. So Casey, our guitarist, is like super into the Library of Alexandria. I don't know if you've heard of that. It's like this mythical library that apparently got destroyed like thousands of years ago. And she's been looking into different stuff from that, and she found this passage that was apparently from that time, just about like if existence can conflict and existence can one exist without the other one, and we just found it really fucking cool. And so we wanted something to start the album that was a little dark and just kind of like a palate cleanser before like and subscribe slaps you in the face. So we just the guys like Knox and Casey and Jovi sort of wrote this string arrangement, which was really cool. And we just felt like it was a nice little build up into the rest of the album that sort of comes in. And I guess it sets the tone really well too. Like, it's a lot of deep themes, and just a really cool like passage.
Yeah. I mean, this might sound a little bit strange, but one of the first things I noticed about that, and one of the things that I think is the best thing about it, is the fact you used an Australian voice for the monologue. Like a lot of bands go for the American James Earl Jones type thing or something to start an album with, but you guys are stuck with an Australian accent. So kudos to you.
Yeah, dude. I mean, there's like two of us in the band are Australian, but because I'm the singer, I guess I get to push that a little more, you know what I mean?
Or rake a bit.
Yeah, that's it. But no, there was something cool. There was something a little Mad Max about it, I thought. Um, and dude, I don't know what it is, but like everyone loves an Australian accent, you know what I mean? So yeah, it,
Yeah,
it
good on you,
felt
man.
it felt right to do.
Sweet. Now, there's one collaboration on the album with Jonathan Vigil from The Ghost Inside on the track My Sword. So I've got to say, mate, not a bad guest artist to have on a debut album.
Oh, dude, he's the best, man. He's my best friend now.
I understand there was a touch of fanboy and almost fucked that up before it got off the ground, though, mate. Tell us about that.
Oh, dude, that was a joke. Like, you know, clearly I was just like, I knew that there'd be a breakdown in that car, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna like pretend to freak out and like pretend to shit my pants and not actually do that, and then like head to the car, and then sure enough, the car didn't start. I don't even have my license. Like it was all theatrical. And then sure enough, we got the bones of that breakdown. Um but like yeah, the working with Vigil, dude, was the best. Like I think the Ghost Inside is such a pivotal band in that scene. They're like one of the most respected bands. Every album is just banger after banger. So we weren't really looking to have a feature artist particularly for the album, but the way it just came together, it made sense. And I think the timing of like, including Vigil announcing an album, it just timed really well with people being like, "Oh shit, I think Lost Souls are like, for real. They're not just a band that sings about Star Wars or something like that. They got, this heavy hitter on there. They're releasing an album, so yeah, the timing felt really good to get that kind of validation from Vig as well.
Yeah, nice. Now, Lost Souls basically came from nowhere last year with the debut single "Childhood Died." Like I know you say that it sat on, around 1,000 for 12 months, but in the public eye, he's basically came from nowhere, mate. Like the
Oh,
press
for
release,
sure.
this press release describes the band as an international collective of musicians that came together in Australia. So, what's the backstory there?
Yeah, I mean, press releases are great at making it sound like we formed this Voltron of
Yeah.
musicians, but like it was basically like we're all just like skater kids and misfits and bums. And Yosh was here studying. Yosh is our drummer. Like he was over here studying. Jovi was just kicking around, like traveling a little bit. And Knox moved here when he was super young too. So uh it was more just like we met at like skate parks, and as soon as you see someone with a t-shirt on of a band you're like, oh shit, I love that band. What else are you into? You start chatting, and then the second they found out that because I was like a bit, Casey and I were like latecomers to the band. Like Knox, Jovi, and Yosh were trying out for another band, and they had this like shit singer. And Knox was like one of my bros, so I just went down to watch, and I just couldn't hold my tongue, and I kept telling this singer like he was shit, and then basically they were like, "Oh, I'd like to see you do better." I'm like, "Yeah, fucking finally, like give me the mic." And then it was I don't know, it was kind of from there. So yeah, like we've got this like I guess multicultural fruit salad in the band. But it was just because like they were in proximity and we're all hanging out, like being bums, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's cool. Now, you've released all of your music videos in animation, which was obviously a clever marketing ploy from the start. But how meticulously did you plan things initially? Like, was it a small idea that grew massive wings, or was it more a strategic chain of events from you guys?
Um, I don't know. The animation thing comes up a lot. Like it's a weird one because like we're just sort of doing our thing, and I think maybe like I thought it might have even been like a new term, like on an MSN Messenger, like back in the day, like people would put Brie as their name for like pig squirrels and stuff. Like I thought animated was maybe like the new way to say like something's dope. Um, but I think like in terms of like did we plan to get massive? I think every band simultaneously like kind of does and doesn't at the same time, because I'm like on one hand it's like you're planning to get massive feels ridiculous. You always hope you were, and you think your shit's good enough to, and on the other hand you get that kind of pumped that of course you think it's gonna blow up, because it's like it has to. Not only are you psyched on the music, but you're like, okay, this is what I want to do with the rest of my life. So you kind of all in. And I know a lot of I think every band out there would relate to that. Um, we've just been fortunate enough that we had, it's funny, like the Star Wars thing, I genuinely mean every word of those songs. Like they're not funny songs to me, but I guess the way the internet works and pop culture, like we tapped into a few fandoms, and we were fortunate enough to have that kind of blow us up. And then, doing stuff like writing breakdowns of ping pong balls and popcorn and stuff like that. It's just stuff like us having fun and like fucking around. But I don't know, people just like to share it, which has been really good for us. So we've had to like, again, with the album, I guess kind of like we've had to come out and back it up so that, we're worth the hype to people that are into us.
Yeah. And no matter how humble you want to sound with shit like that, bro, like the bottom line is you've created a massive fucking side monster with all your social media and all that sort of shit. So moving forward, do you think more of your time is going to be spent making music or keeping up with all your social media shit?
Yeah, well, I mean, they kind of go hand in hand. So, I mean, we will always be writing music because that's the fundamental core of everything. Like, we've got no interest in being like, you know, influencers or anything like that. Like we're musicians, we're a band, and we just want to like enjoy every nuanced thing about it with everybody that's willing. Um, but funnily enough, we're doing a lot more social media stuff. We just released a few weeks ago, like the first episode of a vlog kind of thing. It's called Breakdown. So basically, we're gonna be like filming everything we do, and putting it out there because I don't know, like it seems like people just are really into what we're up to, and if that helps get the music out there, then for sure we'll keep putting it out. But yeah, the social media thing did kind of blow up in a way that was hard to keep up with. So I think we might have to get some help there because it was just me sort of running the accounts for a while, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm bored already. I can't keep putting up clip after clip. So I don't know, maybe we'll get some sort of, well, it'd be great if we could get like, I don't know, some management or something like that that can then help out with that sort of stuff. So I mean, if you're watching, let's go.
Fuck, man, you don't know what you've just created. Then your inbox is going to blow the fuck up.
Yeah, I guess I gotta check it though. That's the thing.
True story. So are you guys a touring band as well, or are you just a studio project for now?
Yeah, we've always planned a tour. But I guess one thing we didn't want to do was just like play to fucking 10 people at our local bar.
Mm.
We're like, we can we can do that, or we could just put the effort into recording, and then hopefully, if it gets out there, we can you know, we can play some better shows. And I mean, the longer it takes for us to play, the better we're going to be. So, yeah, we've had a talk with a couple of promoters and different bands and things like that. So, I guess we're just waiting for the drop of the album and that announcement, and then we'll have some dates hopefully where we can get off our asses and come see everyone.